3/4/2020, the year of coronavirus. We're here at the Toledo Hospital, aka ProMedica, and so far it looks like it's a very empty parking lot. Doesn't look like much activity is going on.
Is that General George Custer, a statue of Custer?
And
shouldn't they blow those up? I mean, they're statues. It's called iconoclasty, isn't it? Where you
Iconoclastic.
Statue.
A very special place for kids. You know, it's so special that if your kid ends up getting tested for coronavirus, they will separate you and take your child into the hospital without you around. I'm glad that there's so much trust. Here you go around. So clearly here at the front of the hospital, not a whole lot of action. And I know it supposedly hasn't hit its peak yet. That would have to be like a tremendous amount of peak. I mean, it would almost be like really going downhill on the first hill of the Gemini, wouldn't it? To be able to catch up with the way the news talks. I mean, they talk as if it's a pure frenzy.
Just a bunch of panicking for a fake virus.
You call it the fake virus? I call it the COVID.
COVID 1-19,
which
it's
is
an extension of SRS 2175.
Yeah, they did make it like military, the smart numbers, which is covert, obfuscate, verify, or identification, and probably death certificate at the end.
We got bogeys coming in 0.5. Coronavirus.
I'm sure they have their acronyms for it.
Everybody put your gas mask on. Incoming flight of the corona over the towers, coming from the towers. You see the corona cells?
There must be corona out there.
4G.
Well, people got to close their windows and just lock them in. Boy, I certainly hope that they turn all their cash,
we got radiation poisoning in Zone 7. They think that I'm the one.
I mean, you talk about money. And
they're the ones that are fucking retards. They laughing at me, bitches. Stay at work, fucking bitches.
Don't ruin my whole video with too much yelling. Cash, still. You can go to every
I went too far, didn't I, Mike?
In-N-Out store.
Did I go too far by saying all that?
Yeah,
I didn't mean to call people bitches. I mean,
we have
really,
ambulance rolling
why aren't they out free like we are?
As if they're running any kind of emergency calls. Maybe they're just kind of slow rolling the patients in. Imagine that, though. Hospitals actually receive ambulance calls. It's not that abnormal. Certainly don't see the fleet of them up here, as if, again, like they make you believe. And this is resemblant of what Straight Joe.
What's wrong with it?
Well, we got to go back to the tent.
I know
we're the tent up like 4 days ago.
That's just a circle over there.
Oh, you were gonna do a reroute?
Go in the tent.
We can go see that spot there. So still nothing going on here. The tent empty. Ambulance area. Just go around. Don't cause too much here.
Don't cause too much panic.
There got 4 of them there, but I got a feeling they're not really loading people in and out. I mean, we could go talk to them and just ask them if you want to. Just don't cause any big stir. Because who knows what their feelings are, and they still have to do legitimate runs back and forth. But maybe we'll find an honest one that will be able to say, no, I really haven't had that many calls.
Totally
clearly,
Joe Reinhardt staying home.
There's not that many people being rushed per the incredible disease that's overtaken the world here. That shut down the entire economy. That closed off all the schools, lying to them, pretending like they were going to go back. I knew they weren't going to go back this year. You know, when they said they were going to be off for like a couple weeks, I knew it wasn't going to be a couple weeks. People don't understand this thing is going to be permanent. Maybe a little on and a little off.
Oh, for the most part,
they see how easy it is to send people into their homes. So they're just like little school kids. Time to go into your schoolroom. Oh, we're going to let you out.
Okay, boys and girls, I want all the girls to line up on the right side, and I want all the boys to line up on the left side. We're going to make a march for the laboratory.
No room for defiance, even though defiance is going out and making inventions like Thomas Edison and many of the other, original inventors that created new building processes and new computer programs as well. None of that. You follow in line. Everything's set up the way it is.
6 times do a circle around the circle.
The whole point is why are people just so easily allowing themselves to be quarantined without question?
Because they're just fucking...
I mean,
I
just
don't know.
because it's on the news, right?
They really believe that
If nobody watched TV, what do you think people
when
would be
people
like?
start dying, we're gonna feel so bad.
Would the world be
Jealous.
that awful if
We
there
should have
was
just stayed the
not
fuck
a
home.
if there wasn't a
Instead of
single,
infecting people for
don't miss
real.
don't miss this point. If there was not a single TV show, a single story covering the COVID disease, what would life be like? What do you really think it would be like? Do you think anybody would see anything different in the world for the most part?
If there was one story that
Would there be
actually
all
covered
these?
it,
Would there be all? If not a single one, if the news never covered this at all, life had just gone on, and they talked about
There's no
Democrats and
question.
Republicans.
it would just all stay inside till.
Do you think nobody knew anything? If they never brought it to the news whatsoever,
Right.
what would life be like right now? Would we still have an economy? Would we still have people looking forward to going to school and getting their degrees? I mean, we still may now, but
Well, the people that are the have-nots would rise up. They don't have to go to
they
work.
wouldn't have rose up against
So
anything.
did they try to say we're no longer slave wage laborers because if we're not rich enough
People
to make good
wouldn't
money,
have
then we don't even have to
done
work?
anything. Everything would be normal. We'd still be like in a crazy amount of debt. We'd still have some, civil angst in the country. But for the most part, things would be just rolling along.
Well, we got rid
If
of
they
slave
never
class
had a
society, right?
One
The slaves
story.
can eat McDonald's and drive around all day.
Well, now we just we feel
We
like
no
we're
longer
making
we can no longer impel them to work.
a jailbreak when we go out.
I don't
to
have
get
to go
our
to dot
fish
to apply to
sandwiches, for
Kroger's,
God's
dot
sakes.
to apply for employment, dot to apply for this. And
Now, these lots are empty too, so folks are leaving the hospital, and it does look like it's slower than usual. I know it's Saturday; it doesn't have as many cars on a Saturday as it does during the week. We will be here on Monday though to do a follow-up. We know right now it's not to rush you panic, but again, I will reiterate: there's a lot of people out there doing these videos with their own phones in areas that are the hot zones, the ones that create the